Today on Apartment Hunters, St. Paul Edition, Kian is 23 years old, a software engineer working remotely, and he's ready to find a new place to call home in the Twin Cities. He's looking for something modern, close to the action, but still budget-friendly. With St. Paul's historic charm and bustling neighborhoods, the options are endless, but finding the right fit won't be easy. Will he choose character and location, or convenience and comfort? Let's find out. My name's Kian, I'm 23 years old, and I'm currently looking for a new apartment in the Twin Cities area in Minnesota, and I thought it'd be fun to take you guys along for the ride. When I was growing up, I was a huge HGTV fan, and one of my favorite shows on there was House Hunters. So I thought it'd be kind of fun to do a little House Hunters spin-off on my apartment search. And so let's get this show on the road. So like I said, I'm currently looking for a new apartment in the St. Paul area. Currently, I have an apartment in Shakopee, Minnesota, which is just a little too far away from friends, family, and activities that I like to do. So moving a little bit more central and closer to everything I have going on will be a nice change of pace. I'm looking for a one-bed, one-bath apartment, and my budget is $1,300 a month. My current place is just a little too expensive. I'm currently paying $1,450 a month plus all of the utilities, which aren't included in that rent. And so my actual pay comes a little closer to like $1,600 to $1,650 a month, which is just a little too high than what I'd like to be spending. Ideally, I'd like to have carpet installed in both the bedroom and the living room because I like the soft, warm feeling of walking on carpet, and it helps with the noise dampening for my YouTube channel. The place also needs to be over 600 square feet because I've accumulated a lot of stuff to fill my old apartment, which was closer to 800 square feet. And so I'd like to be able to fill it all in my new place. I would also love to have an in-unit washer and dryer as well as a dishwasher, but I will admit it might be a little difficult at my price point, but it would be a nice addition to have. But with all that said, I'm gonna let voiceover Kian take it away from here and show you guys the first apartment. Apartment number 1 is located in Burnsville, Minnesota, so a little quiet suburb, about a 15 to 20 minute drive from St. Paul. This is the floor plan. We have a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom, 850 square foot apartment coming in at $1,260 a month. Now, taking a walk through the apartment, as you can see, we have bright, big windows for that natural lighting and a private entrance into this apartment, which is a huge plus. The living room is pretty spacious, and we have a nook over there for maybe a desk work from home setup. But moving over to the kitchen, looks like we have brand new stainless steel appliances. Everything looks good except that microwave looks like it's seen better days. I think they're still doing construction on the place. Moving through the kitchen, you saw the dishwasher there on the right, and then a utility closet with the washer and dryer all in unit. So all 3 of appliances that I was looking for included with this place, which is super, super convenient. Walking back through the living room, taking a right, we have a hallway with extra closet space, and then looking at the main bathroom and the only bathroom in this apartment. Very, very spacious, pretty nice, modern. I like it, very bright lights. There's the sink, lots of drawers and cabinets for all of the bathroom essentials. Then go into the closet. Looks like we got another sink here just in case one wasn't enough. And then turning around, we have this massive like half walk-in closet. So much space, more than I could ever even use up. Then here on the left-hand side is the master bedroom, which is pretty small, and then some extra closet space here. So that's going to be the conclusion of the first apartment. Apartment number 1 was a pretty nice place, I have to admit, and coming in just under budget at $1,260, especially getting that 850 square feet, I think it's a pretty good deal. And as far as the pros and cons, I loved how it had a private entrance. That's a huge, huge plus because you don't get to see that very often in apartment buildings. So very big thumbs up from me, as well as it had a in-unit washer and dryer as well as a dishwasher, which is huge. That checks all 3 boxes. Kitchen was super nice. The floor plan was spacious. The closet was massive. I mean, it even had 2 sinks, which I don't know what I'd use 2 sinks for, but you can't complain about it. Some of the cons are it had hardwood in the living room, which honestly isn't the end of the world because the living room was very spacious and I could definitely put a rug down and make it work. but the bedroom had carpet in it, but it was a little bit on the small side. And so I have a pretty big bed, and so there won't be a lot of room to maneuver in the bedroom after the bed is in there. Also, Burnsville is a little far from the city than I'd like to be. I'd like to be a little closer to the action. But with the trade-offs that I get for moving a little bit further away, it's definitely worth putting some thought into. Apartment number 2 is located in West St. Paul, which is a little bit closer to the cities than Burnsville, about a 5 to 10 minute drive, but still has that quiet feel to it. The floor plan we're looking at is a 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 750 square feet, priced at $1,350 a month. Taking a look at the actual unit itself, this is the main living room, nice wood floors, decent size, and has that natural lighting from both windows. Right next to the entryway behind the living room is a nice massive walk-in closet for everything you could possibly need, some extra storage, which is always nice to have. Now moving on towards the kitchen, on the left-hand side we have the one and only bathroom. It's a little bit on the smaller side, but super clean and modern, and will be good enough for anything that I need it for. Next to the bathroom is the main kitchen. This is absolutely beautiful. It's nice and spacious with also brand new appliances. You can see the washer and dryer just past the kitchen there, but this one does not come with a dishwasher, so keep that in mind. Behind the kitchen is the main bedroom. Carpet on the floors, which is nice, baseboard heating, nice natural light through the 2 windows, and decent size for a 1 bedroom apartment. And on the left-hand side here, we have a closet. Definitely not the biggest closet in the world. I do have a dresser, which I'll have to supplement this because I don't think that's going to fit everything that I have. But that is going to be it for apartment number 2. Apartment number 2 is also a very nice place. It's closer to the city than apartment number 1 was, but that trade-off comes with a little steeper price. This one's over budget at $1,350 a month, and it's only 750 square feet. Not like 750 square feet is small or anything, it's plenty for me, but it's something to look at. As far as my pros for the apartment, the bedroom had carpet on the floor and it was also pretty spacious, always great. The kitchen was modern, updated, and had a ton of space, and it had an in-unit washer and dryer. The cons of the place were that it did not have carpet in the main living room, which isn't the end of the world. There wasn't a lot of closet space in the bedroom, which also isn't the end of the world, but it would be nice to have a little bit more space to put my things. And the washer and dryer were just kind of sitting out in the open right next to the kitchen, which I thought was a little odd. I love the location and the proximity to St. Paul. However, the price is over budget, and that's with no utilities included. So we're pushing what I'm paying for right now, and I think my current place was a little bit nicer than this, but it's something to think about. Apartment number 3 is located in Roseville, Minnesota, another quiet suburb about 10 minutes north of St. Paul. There's no floor plan picture for this apartment, but it is a 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom apartment, 650 square feet, priced at $995 a month. Taking a look at the actual unit itself, walking through the front door, you're initially greeted with this nice front entryway closet. It's not the biggest or most flashy thing in the world, but for a front entry closet, it'll do just fine. Now off to the left-hand side, we have a pretty large living area. I love the fact that this one has carpet on it. You know, one of my wants was an all-carpet living room, and this one has it. And it leads onto a sliding glass door with a nice porch area. This one's on the 2nd floor, and this is a pretty big little porch. Usually they don't come this big in a 1 bedroom apartment, so that's pretty nice. Moving to the right, we have the main kitchen area, which is pretty small, and the appliances are not nearly as nice as the previous 2. We have some older appliances in this apartment, and a small oven, small countertop space, but lots of cabinet space for storage for utensils and food and spices and whatnot. Moving over behind the sink area, we have the fridge. Again, kind of old, but pretty spacious and, you know, not the end of the world. Right next to the kitchen, we have the bathroom with a nice, beautiful blue tile and blue tub with some weird retro flooring. It's a pretty small bathroom, not a lot of space for storage. That's why you have this nice little cabinet behind the mirror. That seems like a little 80s thing. It's a very 80s apartment, very 80s bathroom aesthetic. But moving out to the main bedroom, again, we have carpet on the floors, which I'm a big fan of. Nice window for that natural light. And then we have two closets attached to the main bedroom. And this one, although it looks pretty ugly, it is a ton of space there for storage. And then another closet just like the one in the front entryway. So plenty of room for clothes and whatnot, and a pretty spacious bedroom indeed. So that's apartment number 3. So the pros and cons for apartment number 3, starting with the pros, the location. This is the closest to St. Paul out of all 3. It's just a 5-minute drive on the highway to downtown St. Paul, which is absolutely amazing. It's right in the middle of my friends, my family. It's a very good location. Also, the price. It is by far the cheapest apartment on this list today, coming in under $1,000 a month, which is absolutely fantastic. It also has carpet in both the bedroom and the living room, which was a huge plus and one of my wants for this apartment hunt. However, pros come with cons, and the first one being there's no in-unit appliances that I was looking for, no dishwasher, and no washer and dryer. However, there is a washer and dryer in the unit. It's in the basement, and I have to pay for it in quarters, which kind of sucks. Another con is it's the smallest of the 3 apartments at roughly 650 square feet, which is still above the 600 square foot threshold that I set at the beginning of this video. But it's gonna be a tight squeeze, and I'll have to be a little creative on where I put certain things to make it work. So there's a lot to think about with this apartment as well. What do you think, Jasmine? Where should we live? Should we go for apartment number 1, the massive 850 square foot apartment that's a little ways away from the city in Burnsville? Or should we go for apartment number 2, the super nice and modern apartment that's a little bit closer to the cities but over budget? Or should we go for apartment number 3, the great location and way under budget but lacking some of those basic appliances like a dishwasher and a washer and dryer? I think we've come to a decision. And the apartment I chose is apartment number 3, and I moved in about a week ago. The reason I chose apartment number 3 is because it best aligned with what I want to be doing right now and my goals for the future. The location is just perfect for me. I've got friends that live in Minneapolis, my family's just east of the cities, and my girlfriend also lives in St. Paul. So I'm kind of right in the middle of all of the action. I also have a dog, her name's Jasmine, she's a sweetheart, and there's a bunch of walking and hiking trails right around this area, so it's a perfect location for me and what I do day to day. I really had to sacrifice not having an in-unit washer and dryer or a dishwasher, which really sucks and is the biggest negative about this apartment, but for the price that I'm getting at, I think it's worth the sacrifice. Because my monthly costs for this apartment are $995 a month base rent, plus a $2.50 online payment fee. And then on top of that, almost all of my utilities are included except for electricity. And I haven't lived here quite long enough to know exactly what that's gonna be per month, but I guarantee it's not gonna be over $150 like my utilities were in my previous apartment. Therefore, I'm saving about $500 a month on my rent and utilities just from moving to a cheaper place. And all of that money is going to be saved, invested, and hopefully in the next couple of years, I'll be able to purchase my first property. And that's the main goal and the reason that I wanted to get an apartment this cheap. Plus, this apartment is great. I mean, it's got the carpet in the living room, which I love, as well as the bedroom. There's enough space. It's a tight fit in the kitchen, but the living room's massive. I can fit everything I need. And I'm in love with the place. It's perfectly fine for me and where I'm at right now in my life. So yeah, I went with apartment number 3, and this will be the background for all of my videos moving forward here in the next 12 months. But let me know in the comment section down below which apartment you guys would have went for. But that's all I got for you guys today. I hope y'all enjoyed and found it entertaining. If you did, Don't forget, maybe leave a like on the video or subscribe to the channel. I hope to bring you guys more fun content just like this. But with all that said, I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Catch you in the next one. Peace out.